Here are 7 of the emitter pieces available from Kyberlight, and how the emitter pieces work, they also call them top pieces, is you slide the piece over the hilt and then you attach the piece to the hilt with a screw, and so that's how you keep it in place, and that's how their emitter pieces work. Now let's go over some of the names and kind of some of the features of each of these pieces. Up here in the left is Dark Flare. Next to that is Arbiter. Here is Plasmafier, which is possibly the coolest name in the whole bunch, my opinion. This is Corona, Kepler, Red Dwarf, and finally, the very elaborate, the Claw. Now, the Claw is available also in red and just regular metallic, and Kepler is available in black and just metallic, so you can be aware of that. Now, let's start with Dark Flare. So Dark Flare, well, Dark Flare is my least favorite piece. It's very thin and chintzy. It seems like you could bend it quite easily, and just, I'm also not a huge fan of the appearance on the hilt too. So anyway, Dark Flare. It's also the one that's available in the Night Pack. So the Night Pack is Kyberlight's most basic saber package available, where this is the only emitter piece included. So you want to consider that if you're thinking about purchasing that pack. You may want to add on one of these other emitter pieces to your order if you think that, if you're like me, where you think this one is a little ugly. Okay, next to that, well, I'll talk about both of these at once. Arbiter and Plasmafier. These are kind of nice. Now, they're definitely much, heavier, more substantial than that kind of cheap-seeming Dark Flare piece. And they're very similar in design. The main difference being that Arbiter has kind of these gear teeth to it, whereas Plasmafier is just kind of rounded, and it also has these other kind of circular elements to it. So this one is actually probably my favorite. I like the look of Plasmafier a lot, and I kind of prefer the smooth circle to the teeth edge of this one, but that's me. Over here is the Corona, and what's nice about this one is definitely the windows. So if you like the appearance of kind of the blade color peeking through, this might be a good option for you. This may be my second favorite emitter piece. Over here is Kepler. Now, as I said, the Kepler is also available in black or just kind of a metallic color, and it kind of gives a nice look to the saber hilt. It just gives that kind of classic flare toward the top, like a lot of the lightsabers from the movies. For me, I would probably prefer having the black version or maybe the metallic version. But the other thing about this one is I think it is a little thin. I kind of have similar reservations about it as I do to Dark Flare, except I do like the appearance of it, just wish it was a little heavier kind of piece, or thicker. Over here are the two flashier emitter pieces. This is the Red Dwarf. I kind of think of it as the devil horns piece. Clearly dark side, it kind of gives you a nice crossguard look. And finally, we have the Claw, which again is available also in red or just regular metallic. And the Claw will actually lengthen your hilt by several inches more than any of these other emitter pieces, because it'll sit right here when you screw it in. And then it does have windows, kind of like the Corona. So that's kind of a nice element about it. The claws at the top do have screws so that you can make sure the claws are screwed in nice and tight. And you can loosen it like when you're installing or removing the blade. You know, just there's not much clearance space here, so it might be easier to do that. But yep, that's if you're looking for a little flashier. Probably you would go with these two, but my personal favorites are Plasmafier, not just for the name, but also just the kind of clean look of it. This one I like for the windows. And then I do like Kepler, but I may have to get some of the other color options because I think Kepler would look a little nicer in black or just regular metallic. But these are some of the options that you have for the emitter pieces from Kyberlight, and they will work with most of your Saberforge lightsabers. You know, they just work the same way. They'd slide over the hilts. Works with most models, but not all. So you'll want to check into that. There's a few of their models that it won't work with, but most of them they will work with. So these are some Kyberlight emitters or top pieces.